Joy, and I am not alone. I have my super awesome co-host with me,
DJ Awesome Rob.
And today I am introducing a new show that I am doing. I'm very excited to do this. It's super cool. The name of the show is Backlogged, and I will actually be discussing different, entertainment means that have been in the past.
Memes or memes?
Different entertainment means. So different means of entertainment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said memes.
That were introduced in the past that I either haven't gotten around to watching or playing or reading, or, it wasn't something that I was interested at the time, or maybe I tried to watch it, play it, whatever, read it, and I didn't finish, whatever the case may be. This is backlogged, so this is stuff of the past that I am making new again for me, and I want to talk about it. So, I don't know if anyone else is doing anything like this. Doesn't matter. I'm doing this. Let's do this. Alright, so I actually have been... What?
I'm listening to you.
Okay. So I've been on Netflix, of course, and I've seen a couple of things. The first thing I want to talk about is a TV show that has 7 seasons, or had 7 seasons, and it ran from 2007 to 2015. This show I actually tried to watch back in 2007 when it was new hotness and everybody was talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. This is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be great because it's the hotness and oh my goodness. And I watched it. I watched the first 15 minutes of the show and I was bored to tears. I must say that I saw that it was recently added to Netflix, or I actually paid attention to it being on Netflix. Maybe it was already there and I didn't know, and I didn't, whatever. But whatever the reason is, I saw it there and I decided to give it another try. And I did get past the first 15 minutes of the show. I actually watched episodes 1 through 5. I believe it is a 12 show series on AMC. And the name of the show that I'm talking about right now is Mad Men. So I want to just kind of give a synopsis of episode 1. And oh yeah, like, let's be real, there's like spoiler alert all over the place. The show is like what, 10 years old now? So
Jeez, it's been that long?
Yeah, it started in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
so this is like a full-on spoiler show. So if anybody hasn't seen anything that I'm going to discuss, or that we're going to discuss, or played anything, or read anything that we're going to discuss, I suggest you don't listen to the show. Or listen to the show to get our opinion, and then go back, watch it, read it, whatever, play it, and then get your own opinion, and then let us know all about it. Visit us on the DigiKast.com. Alright, so Mad Men. I'm only going to really kind of just go over episode 1, because the rest of the episodes I watched were a complete snooze fest. Episode 1 is titled Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. So it's the pilot episode. And, what it is for, and everybody who, you probably know, whatever, this is my perspective only. So the perspective is of mine that it is a advertisement company that they all work for. They're, in New York. And actually, it's described at the beginning of the episode before we see people. It gives the definition of Mad Men, and it says, Mad Men is a term coined in the late 1950s to describe the advertising executives of Madison Avenue, which is in New York. So it's like, I guess, Wall Street for the entertainment, for the advertising and marketing business, right? So my thoughts on this is that it's an office atmosphere. There's a new secretary. The show starts with a new secretary. Her name is Peggy. That she's coming. She's hired. It's her first day, and she's like being told all of these things of what to do. Make the coffee. Make sure you go to the drugstore, buy Tylenol, have some water. Go get this, go get that. And she's like actually told to go to the doctor to get some like birth control pills and all this stuff. It's like crazy. The staff is all men, and then you have your secretaries, typing up stuff. And she's actually hired as Don Draper's personal secretary because he's fired the secretary before her, why, I don't know. I didn't get that far. Or maybe it never explains it. I'm not really sure. But I couldn't believe, like, some of the things that I was seeing. It was crazy. Like, I know it's the 60s and the time was, like, way different than it is now, obviously, in the business world for women. Men, too. But first of all, everybody smoked. So, quite frankly, it was hilarious because the first episode, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, they were doing a marketing advertisement campaign or whatever like that for Lucky Strike, which is a cigarette that was manufactured in North Carolina. And there's also some factories in Virginia, too, because I've seen them. So everyone was smoking in this show, like women, men, everyone in the office. So she goes to the doctor to get an exam so she can get her birth control pills. And the doctor lights up in the exam room and he's like got a cigarette hanging from his mouth while he's examining her. Like, what? She's on stirrups and he's like smoking. It's crazy. And then he's like telling her, oh, I'm going to give you these pills, but that doesn't mean that you can hoe around. And, he doesn't say that, but he says it in like a 1960s way. Oh, it doesn't mean that you can go on and be loose or whatever he says. And it's crazy. And then back in the office, like everybody is looking at her. And it shows her perspective of everybody looking at her. Like, she notices that all the men are, like, watching her and, like, giving her, nods and smiles and, like, whatever, like, sizing her up and stuff like that while she's in the office. One of the characters, Peter Campbell, he actually says to her, "Are you Amish or something?" And she's like, "No, why?" He said, the way that you're dressed, I thought maybe you were Amish. He tells her to tighten her skirt and do something about her blouse and she might actually look like a woman. Oh. Yeah. Like, what? That's crazy to me. It's just crazy. So the only thing that the most entertaining part was that for me was like seeing how women got treated in an office atmosphere at that time. Now, it might be, I'm hoping it's exaggerated and it wasn't like that extreme. Like, I know it was bad. I mean, we don't have harassment laws and things like that for for no reason. But it was just I don't know, it was just insane. So that was my perspective on it. And then the 4 episodes after that, I guess there's some sort of a family issue, which seems to be the theme with like FX shows and AMC shows. There's always some sort of like family issue. So like Don Draper, he's the main boss guy. I'm from what I'm assuming, he's the head honcho. He's like having an affair and she's got issues. His wife has issues because she's got some kind of like some kind of a disability or mental thing that's going on that I haven't gotten, to really understand what it is because I haven't gotten that far, but there's something definitely going on. Then you got the neighbor who lives down the street from them, she's going through like this horrible, horrible divorce, and they're all the women in the neighborhood, they know each other, so they're looking at her like she's the outcast because she's getting a divorce. Like, ew type deal. Like, you must be a whore and all this other stuff. It's crazy. It's so crazy. But if it wasn't such a boring, dry, drab show, I think that it would be really good, in my opinion. And that's my opinion. I really think. But it's so dry and drab. Like, I can't get into it. I can't get past the 5th episode. I tried to watch the end of it like 4 times. So I didn't even finish episode 5. I'm like 10 minutes to the end and I'm like, I can't. Because Peter Campbell, the guy, one of the guys who works there, he actually just got married. So him and Peggy had a thing. And then 2 days after that, he got married, okay, to his fiance that he's had for a while. And his fiance is like the sweet girl and she's like, everybody likes her. Nobody in the office knows her though. But like his family likes her and everybody likes her. And then she tries to, she's like running the show. She's running things in life. And she's like, okay, we need this apartment on Park Avenue. And Peter's like, well, I make $75. First of all, I was like, really? I make $75 a month or a week?
Or a week.
I think it was a week. I make $75 a week. That's $3,500 a year. No way can we afford this. So she's like, yes, we can. We can do this. You can borrow the money from your parents. Parents are like, yeah. No.
Yeah, no. Like, you can get a job.
But they end up getting it anyway, and she just like it's oh
trying
my
to run
God.
everything.
Yeah, she's trying to run everything, and you could tell because when they went to I guess sign the lease or whatever, they're in it's like a high-rise Park Avenue apartment. So they're in there, and then the neighbors come with their little frou-frou dog, and she's like, oh, this is so and so, you might know them, and he's like, yes, dear, and she's like telling all his business. Oh, you know, his great grandfather was in the Revolutionary War, and he found a musket, and he was the creator of the musket, and that's why he's famous. So he's royalty, practically. I mean, not exactly those words or that situation. I can't even remember what it was, but it was something like that his great-grandfather was, like, very famous in the Revolutionary War, and she couldn't remember how many greats. She was like, either his great-great-great or his great-great-great-great. I'm not sure which great. It's like, man, who cares, okay? Like, seriously, just calm down. So whatever. So that was my take on it. Will I finish season 1? Will I continue on with the series? Not sure. Can't guarantee it. But I just wanted to talk about my perspective here on it. And if I do decide to continue it, I will readdress it, and I'll give my final perspective of it at a later date. I'm not really sure how often we're going to do these shows. But, for right now, this is like pilot episode, so it's the trial run. Have you watched Mad Men?
I couldn't make it past the first episode.
See? I couldn't at first either. I couldn't make it past the first 15 minutes. It's so dry.
I feel like it's supposed to be good, so maybe I would just start at season 2. I don't know.
And here's the thing. Like, so I remember at the time, everybody was all about Christina Hendricks. Oh, she's got such milky skin, and she's a ginger, and she's got the bubs and all this other stuff. Like, okay. Well, she definitely, so far, hasn't made me want to watch the show anymore. She's just an actress, right? So where are they now? John Hamm, who plays Don Draper, he's still around. He makes appearances in things such as Absolutely Famous, Aardvark, Keeping Up with the Joneses, and of course, most of us all know him now as the H&R commercial block guy, right?
Wait, what's Absolutely Famous, like the show? Absolutely Fabulous?
Absolutely Fabulous.
The old British
I don't know what it
show?
is. I don't know what it is. I looked it up on IMDb.
It's basically two broke girls, but like 20 years ago in Britain.
Oh, okay.
It's a UK show. He was on...
I didn't see anything that was mainstream now for any of these people that I'm about to mention.
He was on Black Mirror. He was on the in-between episode between season 2 and 3.
I mean, it's like random things that he's appearing in.
Yeah.
All right. The character who plays Pete Campbell, his first name is Vincent. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his last name. Carthesier or something. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce that. You might know him, if anyone has seen this, you might know him as the role of Connor on the awesome series Angel. He appeared on that. Even though Angel started in 1999, Vincent actually appeared in Angel from 2002 to the end, which was 2004 of the series. Most recently, he's played in things such as A Kind of Murder. It was a 2015 TV series called Casual. He's been in something called High School USA. Never heard of any of those, but this is awesome. This sounds pretty cool, and I think I'm going to be interested in seeing this because you know me, I'm nostalgic and I like information. Also, it's like a true story. He's going to be playing in My Friend Dahmer, which is a movie about the infamous serial killer and his rise to the craziness. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay.
Right? I thought that was pretty cool. I'm kind of interested in seeing that. All right, so let's talk about Christina Hendricks for a split second, okay? She plays Joan on this show. She's still around. She's making appearances in things as B-side movies such as, well, not this one, but the movie Fist Fight that actually just came out last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe. She was in Bad Santa 2. She was in Zoolander 2. Okay.
I see a pattern here.
Those are the B-sides.
Yeah.
She plays the voice of Unity in Rick and Morty.
Unity.
I'm not sure who Unity is, but she plays the voice of Unity. Is that the sister?
No.
No. Well, anyway, and she plays some other small roles. Elizabeth Moss. She plays Peggy, the secretary that was newly hired. She's been in a couple of shows since the end of Mad Men, and one of them is called Top of the Lake.
Don't know.
There's like another one, but that's it.
Moral of the story is don't be on Mad Men.
And there's some other actors that I didn't name. And then, of course, there might be, more bigger name actors or more actors that are more famous now than they were then, but I haven't gotten that far in the seasons to really, write them.
Right.
Another thing that I watched on Netflix was actually just a couple of days ago, and it was The Parent Trap. Okay, I'm pretty sure mostly everybody has, if you haven't heard of it or haven't seen it, you've heard of it. The Parent Trap.
Which one?
Yeah, so I'm talking about the original one, the one from 1961, since we're talking about the 60s here. The one in 1961. Okay? Not this Lindsay Lohan crap. The 1961 original.
Isn't there another one beside that?
There's probably 5 more.
Okay,
so this one is the 1961. It stars Haley Mills, Maureen O'Hara, and Brian Keith. Those are the 3 main characters. Haley Mills plays, Sharon and Susan, the kids.
Okay.
Maureen.
Wait, so she didn't have a twin. It was just her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
don't know.
Yeah, she played a double role, and it was awful green screen. Even the Lindsay Lohan one, the Lindsay Lohan one, she played a double role as well. The green screen or whatever you want to call it is probably way better now. Anyway, Maureen O'Hara is the mother, and Brian Keith is the dad. So here's the thing with this. Okay, I was sitting here this whole time. Okay, this is 1961, so these are our parents here. Well, no, the kids would have been our parents, right? Yeah, the twins would have been our parents, so never mind. But their parents, okay, so it's supposed to be all of... I just thought it was odd. I don't know what I'm really trying to say here. I just thought it was weird that it was 1960 and, they were talking about one divorce. And this is literally 1961. This movie was literally made in 1961 where it was supposed to be all about family and we're going to sleep in separate beds because we can't show that on TV, right? So couples didn't really sleep in separate beds. It's just on television, they couldn't show 2 people in the same bed, so they had to separate beds. So that whole myth about sleeping in separate beds is not true. It's just for TV purposes because they couldn't show it because it was, sexual related. Supposedly, it was risque. So, anyways, I just thought this was really screwed up. So the parents got divorced when the twins were babies. They were 1 when they got divorced. Dad moved to California and took 1 twin. Mother stayed in Boston with the other twin. So not only did they get divorced, which is fine. Divorce, it happens. But they took these kids and they split them up and they put them on separate sides of the country and they kept it a secret from one another, thinking that they weren't ever going to find each other. Oh, if they don't know. What kind of people do that?
Isn't that the plot to Sister Sister?
I don't remember. And even if it's still the same thing. Still the same thing. It's still the screwed up. It's still, mucked up. And I think it's irresponsible. It's so irresponsible. And then it's 1960. So it's what did Grandma and Grandpa always tell us? Oh, these kids today got no respect, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, y'all getting divorced and splitting up kids back then like it ain't nothing. So, whatever. There were a lot of things that were going on, like barefoot in the kitchen, cooking dinner and stuff like that. Excuse me. The little old lady stays in the house while the men go out fishing and camping and whatnot. Stuff like that. Young women need to be young women and have etiquette and be, all these things. So, yeah, so it was just, I don't know, it was something. So, anyway, so Sharon and Susan, Haley, played by Haley Mills. If anyone has watched Saved by the Bell, the first season of Saved by the Bell is actually called Good Morning, Miss Bliss. And Miss Bliss was the teacher, and that's Haley Mills. as an adult.
What episode? You said first episode?
First season was called Good Morning Miss Bliss. Then they changed it season 2 to Saved by the Bell.
Oh, they changed the whole
They changed the whole thing, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And actually, I think Good Morning Miss Bliss, they were in middle school. And then when they went to high school, that's when they called it Saved by the Bell. I believe.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maureen O'Hara, she passed away in 2015. Brian Keith, he passed away in 1997. So may they rest in peace. Thank you for that awful, I almost said awesome movie by Disney. Disney has some traditional things that are...
They got some good movies.
Yeah, they got some screwed up values too. All right, so that's the show. Give me your feedback if you want me to check something old school out or whatever out that isn't recent in the new hotness. I'm more than happy to do so. It doesn't have to be a decade ago, 2 decades ago, last century. It can be anything I would say 2013 and down, something that's not new. Gaming wise, it can be anything 2015 and down that I want to do for my Backlogged show.
What's the website?
Our website is thedidgikast.com. You can actually find me on Twitter. I am at Sherry's Joy.
What's the Facebook?
You are?
Oh, me, AwesomeRob029.
Our Facebook page is
fb.com/the DigiKast.
Absolutely. Check us out. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you love, what you hate, what you want to see. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. Love the world.
Peace up in the grill.